Right, so I'm going to go through with you today how to make like a pop art style print like this one. It's really quite simple. Once you've got your original image, the first thing I would suggest to do is just to auto-correct any levels on it by holding Command, Shift and pressing L, which I've already done on this version from the original. Just to go through that and show you what that does. So Command, Shift and L will just auto-correct those levels. Next thing, you want to threshold your image. So you go to Image and Adjustments and then to Threshold, and this you can play around with here to basically make it look however you want it to look. So we're going to take it to around 118 and then you press OK. Now from here you want to go to Select and Colour Range, and then make sure Shadows is selected and then press OK and it'll select all the blacks in the image. And if you just hold Command and press J, it will duplicate that layer. So if we unsee the background, you can see that basically only the blacks are showing and that there is no white left. So we can start to build colour in between those layers. So if you create a new layer and drag that layer in between the background, which I've now made unviewable, and the layer we've just duplicated to make the black, make a new layer, put it in between those and select that. Now you might use several colour layers in between this, and I've gone onto Paintbrush and I've used the swatches option, so there's pre-made colours there, and then select a skin tone, and then I'm just going to begin to start to carefully add colour where I want it to go. So I'm going to start to add that in, and I tend to work over several layers. So got my skin colour in. I don't worry too much if I cover the eyes because I could just create another layer and add that on top. I'm going to start to add in where I'm going to get the skin to go. I'm just going to bear in mind where I want the hair to go as well. So I've got my skin in there, fill in those small gaps that I want to cover. Create another layer. This one I'm going to do with hair. I'm going to give a brown hair on this occasion. I'm not going to worry about going over the skin because I'm going to adjust those layers in a minute anyway. I'm just going to add in all that hair that I want. And then I can just pull that layer behind the skin layer so it matches up. Then if I want to do any additional things, like I might want to use a lighter version of that colour in the eyes on a new layer. I might want to add a colour for the lips, and I might want to add in a colour for some details in the jacket. I just realised I missed a bit of hair on the shoulder there as well. I've added in some details. Eyedropper tool, by the way, if you forget any colours, if you press I, it brings up the eyedropper tool. I've already selected the colour I want, and then you can press B to go back to the brush tool. And then I'm going to add those colours back in on the shoulder to get the hair done. That's completed, and then I'm going to create one new layer, select a colour for the background that I want, which I want to use as purple. I'm going to use the paint bucket tool and paste that into the background. And done. Pull that behind the hair, and then you've got your sort of pop arty type effect.